you can apply to be part of Land 1. So what happens if, let's say, you apply and you are accepted in Land 1? So the first thing is the academic implications of this. So as part of Land 1, you will take 16 credits during your first year. So just to give you an idea, you know, like what these credits or classes mean. So in term 1, you will take biology, so bio 121, that's genetics, ecology, and evolution. And you will also take math 180, that is differential calculus. Also, you will take LFS 110, that is the Land 1 integrative seminar. So as part of your first term, you will take these 3 courses together. In second term, you will also take 3 courses. So you will take LFS 150, that is writing and scholarly argumentation. And you will take LFS 101, that is microeconomics. Again, the integrative seminar is a full year class. So it's 3 credits, but it's instead of having everything during your first term, you will have it over a year. So again, the Land 1 seminar starts in September and it ends in April, but it is a 3 credit class. So the idea of the Land 1 integrative seminar is to integrate as much as we can these other courses. So something that many first year students notice at the university is that many of the classes that you take in first year are not connected to each other. So you take physics, chemistry, math, biology, but there's no class that really tries to integrate these. And more importantly, many of the concepts that you learn in these first year classes can be very abstract. So for many first year students, it can be very frustrating not to see, you know, the applications, like why am I taking math, like, or maybe bio. So in Land 1, we attempt, we're improving every year, but we attempt to make these integrations. And also in the integrative seminar, we cover real life issues, like real life global issues. So we discuss issues related to food security, to climate change, to sustainability, while trying to make those connections to economics, for example, to biology, etc. Okay, so this seminar tries to integrate everything, almost not everything, but many of the things that you will see in the other classes. Also, one of, I think, the great benefits of Land 1 is that you take these 16 credits together as Land 1 students, but then you can take the other credits according to your degree program. So you will experience what being a Land 1 student is, but at the same time, you can also experience, you know, life outside Land 1. You can experience big classrooms and you can take other classes that are relevant to your program. So the most important objective of the Land 1 program is to help students transition from high school to university. This is likely one of the most important transitions that you will have in your life. And it can be very exciting, but it can be very challenging. So what we try to do in the program is to make this experience as smooth as possible. It doesn't mean that it's an easy experience anyways, but we try to be there with you to support you. Okay, and the other very important objective of the program is the integration of content. So what are some benefits that that our students have in comparison with other classes at UBC? So we have a smaller class size. When I say smaller class size, I mean our classes have between 40 and 60 students. So for you, depending on where you come from or your high school, you would say, well, that doesn't sound very small. Like maybe your high school was 20, 30 students in your class. But in the UBC context, 40 and 60 students is very small. First year classes can have 200, 300, 400 students. So they're very, very big. So in Land 1, having, you know, 40, 50 students in one classroom really makes these students feel that, you know, they are in this smaller environment that where you may have a little bit more of control, you may know other students, and you also get to know your professors a little bit more. Also, in addition to being in a smaller class, Land 1 students take those 16 credits together, okay? So yes, you are in a small class, but you also see the same students over and over in these 16 credits that you take together. So many of our students are able to develop friendships, like long-lasting friendships in Land 1. And when I am in my second year courses, I tend to see many Lang 1 students sitting together in my classes. Like my second year classes are like 150 to 100 students, and I usually see Lang 1 students together. So many of our students are able to develop these friendships in the classroom. And also we usually use the same classroom. So for example, this term, we have biology 9 to 10 a.m. and then my class is 10 to 11 a.m. So you don't have to move across campus. I am not sure where you are from or where are you now, but UBC, like, I don't know if you have been to UBC, but if you haven't, UBC is a very large university in terms of numbers, but also in terms of the infrastructure. It takes 15, 20 minutes at least to walk from one side of the campus to the other one. And imagine that sometimes you have classes in one building and then the next class is in the building across campus. So you have to run from one class to the other one. One of our benefits also is that we're in the same classroom, so it's more relaxed, the transition from one class to another one. Also, we offer more hands-on opportunities. So many first-year courses at university, as I mentioned, can be quite abstract and also theoretical. So it's really hard to see the application. So Lang 1 offers more experiential learning opportunities. For example, in normal years without COVID, so last year was an exception because everything was online, but whenever we are face-to-face and in person, we, for example, have a 2-day field trip to Malcolm Knapp Research Forest here in Maple Ridge. We also offer, day trips to the UBC farm. And this year we also organized a visit to the Vancouver Food Bank. So we want to expose the students to real life issues, and we want to give them these more hands-on opportunities. In addition to being outside, to being able to go into these field trips, we also tend to offer more group work, group discussions, just so that the students, can participate in this way in their education and sort of be more active participants in their education. Also, as I mentioned, we offer a more integrated education. So this integration happens in many ways. One of the ways is integrating different classes, but the other way in which we integrate education is you have students of forestry and land and food systems. So in the integrative seminar especially, you will see the connection between these two disciplines, and you will see how issues that, facing forestry are very connected to food systems. And if we ever want to solve the issues related to forestry, we do need to focus on agriculture and food systems, and vice versa. So there's a lot of this connection between both faculties, and that's really, a benefit that you get to see things from another perspective. So also, just for example, topics that we discuss in Lang 1 include food security, food sovereignty, land use change like deforestation, climate change, and sustainability. Also, we integrate scientific perspectives. You will for sure be exposed to that, but we make an effort of including other perspectives, like, for example, indigenous worldviews and indigenous content is also sort of integrated into the curriculum. We also have some social activities. Last year, we had online social activities with Kat and Noah. And in a year that it's not online, we have, face-to-face social activities. So actually, I saw Noah and Kat last week as we did a social activity with their group because they are now in second year. So we have, just as an example, an International Food Night. That is a night where we celebrate different cultures in the program, and students bring the food from their countries. We also have, different social events. We sometimes also do weekend hikes. So there's a number of activities to generate this sense of community within the group. Another really important benefit, and I mean like very important benefit of the program, is the personal connection with instructors. Our instructors are very caring, like they really care about the students, and we tend also to communicate between instructors. So students, and maybe Kat and Noah will eventually talk a little bit about this, but in UBC, when you have big classrooms, it can be very challenging to go to the front and speak with your instructor. In Lang 1, this sort of barrier, like for sure, many of you will still be intimidated to speak with your instructors, but in Lang 1, there are less barriers to have this relationship with instructors. And that is usually in the evaluations, the students' evaluations, students mention this benefit of the program. And I think it's a huge benefit. So just almost to conclude, you also have a designated Lang 1 space. So in the Macmillan building, that is the Land and Food Systems building, Lang 1 students have this, it's a room basically, where you can study, you can get together. The social events usually happen in this room. And it's truly a benefit. Like first year students don't have spaces like this. So it's, it's a big part of the program that our Lang 1 students are able to get together in this room and just, if you are tired, you can hang out in there. There are couches, there are tables, you can come and eat your lunch here while you chat or study with other Lang 1 students. So finally, generating this greater sense of community is this huge aspect of the program, because we believe that by creating a greater sense of community, we do help students in their transition from high school to university. Okay, and hopefully Kat and Noah will be able to speak a little bit more about this. So today we have Noah and Kat with us. On Wednesday, we had another session and we had William with us. So I would like to invite, I don't know, any of you, like, I don't know, maybe Noah or Kat, whoever wants to go first to talk about, your experience in the program. So Kat, if you want, Kat, go ahead.
Great, okay. Yeah, so I feel like two main points I should bring up are, one, you said that connecting with instructors is a big thing. And I am actually the peer tutor for Athena's class this year, which has been so wonderful. I've got to meet all of the new Land 1 students, but that's definitely not an experience that a lot of second years can say that they've done. So it's been really amazing to get that experience. And then two, my roommate is a Land 1 student and we're like best buds. Everything's great. And I am so happy that we've met all of these incredible people in this program. I see them all the time. I hang out in the forestry building all the time. And I see them just wandering around and it's great. And I've met a lot of new people as well, which are wonderful. But it's really amazing to have this community to come back to. We still have an online group chat where we talk. If anybody's going through a rough time or something, we can all help out. And then the last thing that you said was combining forestry and land and food systems. So I'm in land and food systems. And one of my classes this year is agroecology. And I've actually found a lot of applications with forestry combined with land and food systems that I've been able to bring a unique perspective to. So that's been really fascinating and exciting for me, something that I really enjoyed. So yeah, I think it's an amazing program. I think everybody should join the Land 1 program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kat, for that. And just as a reminder to the students here, Kat and Noah had their Lang 1 experience and their first year experience fully online. They were the entire year, classes and everything, even social events were in Zoom. So just to highlight that even in that context, they were a successful group in creating this sense of community. So thank you, Kat, and Noah, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Kat, for sharing your experience. And yeah, just to add upon that, as Fernanda said, our Land 1 experience was actually online due to the pandemic. And I think in the midst of that, Land 1 actually was just really helpful in making UBC feel like a smaller and less intimidating place. And yeah, it really helped get through the hard times that COVID-19 brought us all upon. Yeah, the small class sizes and the fact that we could take so many courses together, it really helped bring us together. And it was really fun to share most of the classes with the same cohort, and you get to, yeah, to really build upon those relationships because you're spending so much time together and like sharing so many common courses. Um, and yeah, as Kat said, there are so many great student connections that you could make. Personally, I'm really grateful for the friendships and the support I received at my time during Land One. It was an extremely welcoming and safe space, and yeah, I really enjoyed spending time with classmates, whether that was just commiserating over hard math midterms, or just, attending Discord social events, or as Kat said, getting support like with mental health and well-being. Everyone there was super nice and really understanding and supportive. And so, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have gotten through my first year without Land One. And yeah, on top of that, I just wanted to give a special shout out to all the faculty with Land One, especially Fernanda. I was initially really like worried and intimidated by the prospect of interacting with professors at university. I'd heard they were like very intimidating from high school. But honestly, it was the exact opposite experience. Yeah, like all the professors with Land One they did the best you could possibly ask for. They're really supportive, and it's clear to see that they do everything they can to help you succeed in your university experience. And just the fact that they care about you like on an individual basis, it really makes the experience seem more doable and like we're all in this together rather than, you know, fighting against a difficult professor. It was the exact opposite. So thank you, Fernanda, and all the faculty for your support. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Noah, for those words. So so thank you both for sharing that experience. So what is our impact? So after every term and every year, we run surveys with the students to see, like this may be our impression of the program, but what do you really feel? And these data come from Noah's and Kat's year, the evaluation from them. So 93% of students mentioned in the evaluation that they received support from other students in Lang One. And I also do have to give like a shout out to Noah and Kat and their group. Like they were amazing. Like we can do so much to try to generate a feeling of community and support the students, but their year was quite amazing, generating this chat, and you guys did so much to create this feeling of community. So it's amazing. And 93% of them said, they felt that they were supported by other students, which is extremely important. And I would say extremely impressive, given that the entire year was online. 97% of students mentioned that they became more interested in forestry and land and food system issues. And this is also wonderful. Like, as I said, first year at university can be very abstract. So it is a huge, it's great for us to know that, we were able to generate this greater interest in students about their disciplines. 97% of students mentioned that they had plenty of opportunities to interact with professors in Lang One. So again, university professors can feel very intimidating, but in Lang One, I don't know, like in general, we are very easygoing. So it's great, to see that the students have that feel well of interacting with professors. 93% mentioned that the Lang One helped them in the transition to university, like in Noah's and Kat's year. When they came back in second year, now we are fully face-to-face. Like them, where they have students that they met online or sometimes face-to-face last year, but now they have this community that they can come back. Whereas other students that were not in Lang One, I have not much idea about their experience, but probably was much more isolated. And 80% of students mentioned that they felt that they belong to this Lang One community. Again, these are very impressive data or numbers, considering that everything was online. So these are some quotes from last year. So the Lang One community is so welcoming, and I am so happy I was able to be a part of it. I have made some amazing friends that I otherwise never would have met, as they are in a different faculty. It definitely helped my transition from high school to university. And another quote, I am super happy that I studied in the Land 1 program. This program not only provided me with a deeper understanding about the issues we are facing now, but also gave me a strong sense of community. So the application process is, as I mentioned before, only for forestry and land and food systems. You should be already accepted into LFS before you apply to Land 1. The application process is quite easy. It's basically inputting your grades related to math, biology, English, and then we ask the students to write a short essay related to why you are interested to be in the program. The application deadline is May 31st, 2022. And the start date is September 2022. We begin every September, so it will be, September 2023, the next start date after next year. And something that is, a benefit is there are no additional tuition fees. So you pay exactly the same as a non-Lang 1 student, and you have these all of these benefits. The only fee that we ask is if we go in the 2-day field trip, there's like an extra fee of $250 approximately for paying the costs of that field trip. But then there are no other fees. Yeah, and Bonita, would you like to speak about the admission at LFS?
Yeah, thank you. I think our two guests today, and I don't know if more have joined, you've both been, I think, in some sessions earlier this week, so you may have already gotten this information. So this is just a kind of quick review. We've got information up about the BC high school requirements, as well as the transfer requirements. I'm wondering, actually, Joshua and Maya, could you throw in the chat here if you are coming from high school or if you're coming from as a transfer student from another post-secondary institution? That would be really helpful. Let me see. So Maya, you're a high school student. Okay. So the website that we have listed, you.ubc.ca, and Joshua High School as well. It has all the information you could possibly want on applying to UBC. Even if you're not a BC high school student, if you go to that website, I think the second tab is like applying to UBC. And then when you start scrolling through all of the various kind of accordions and tabs, there is Canadian high school students, international high school students. You can look up all the things, whether you're an applied or an AP applicant, an IB applicant. And it will walk you through all the various requirements you must complete in your high school for the particular degree program that you are applying to. So with regards to to LFS, so many acronyms, you want to make sure that when you're looking up those high school requirements, you choose specifically applied biology or food, nutrition, and health when those drop-down menus appear, so that you can see, thanks Yolanda for putting it in there, you can see what are the high school requirements for the specific degree that you are looking to apply to. And again, applied biology and food, nutrition, and health are the two degrees that are first year entry for the Faculty of Land and Food Systems. Now, the entry requirements are similar for both of our degree programs. And as you'll see on the screen here, grade 12 and grade 11, it's a lot of science. Our degree is a Bachelor of Science. It's grounded in science. Your first year is going to be a lot of science, biochemistry, maybe physics if you're in applied biology, math, calculus. And that's actually pretty similar across all the science degrees at UBC, whether it's Faculty of Science, Faculty of Applied Science, that's engineering, the Faculty of Forestry. All those science degrees need to have that basic grounding to get you to second and third and fourth year, where you're going to start taking more advanced classes. So the other thing that UBC does is, regardless of where you're coming from in terms of high school around the world, we do have grade 11 and grade 12 requirements. So it's important that you have a look at that list of what is required of you. I often tell students from the grade 12 list, it says one of biology 12, chem 12, or physics 12. I would say that there's definitely an advantage for you if you take two of these things, maybe not just one, because there are bio and chem requirements in first year. And so it's going to help you that if you've taken the grade 12, you'll then have completed what we call the prerequisite to then be able to take the UBC first year bio or chem courses. If you haven't taken those grade 12 courses, you're going to need to take some time at the start of your degree to catch up and take the grade 12 equivalents at UBC, which means then you won't be taking your actual first year required courses, which is not the end of the world. If that's your situation, we will help you figure out which ones you have to take if you do get to UBC. But if you have the opportunity, it is helpful to be able to take some of those, even Physics 12 if you're planning to go into applied biology. It'll just help you to be better set up for your course choices once you get to UBC. So the application deadline, the early deadline, is coming very quickly around the corner next Wednesday, December 1st. If you are applying by December 1st, you will be evaluated for the entrance scholarships. You'll automatically be considered. So that's definitely an incentive. And I would say that you want to be spending this weekend, if you haven't already, spend some time on your the entrance, like that little short answer essay questions that you have to answer on your personal profile. We can definitely tell when a student has left that to the last minute. You know, I don't know if Noah and Kat and Yolanda kind of can harken back to those days. You know, we want to hear about you and your experience and what's brought you to today. Why are you applying to UBC? Why are you interested in the particular program that you're applying to? What, you know, experiences do you bring? This is really an opportunity, you know, aside from the grades that you're going to present in your application, for you to tell us a little bit about you and why you would be an asset to UBC, and then specifically why you would be an asset to the Faculty of Land and Food Systems. This is obviously something that has happened in a lot of American schools for many years, so we're really happy that UBC now does the same thing so we can get to know applicants a little bit better. I always encourage students to take the time to practice and write out your answers, have somebody you trust, whether it's a parent or a friend or someone else, read through them. Make sure you don't have any mistakes in there and just be able to present your best foot forward, because you know, that's an important element of your application. And then the final deadline to apply is January 15th. So if you are, you know, busy right now and have other things going on, you certainly do have time over the winter holiday break to get that application really tuned up and ready for January 15th. And maybe Yolanda, if you can just pop in the chat our email address, lfs.advising@ubc.ca. The academic advisors in LFS, so there's myself and a couple others, we are very happy to meet with prospective students. If you have questions about applying, you know, if you haven't gotten all the answers you could possibly desire out of this week, we definitely are here to help you. So you can either book an appointment or you can come to drop-in advising whenever we offer that. And we're happy to chat with you then as well. So I'll hand it over back to Fernanda now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bonita. So just to finalize some key contacts in the faculties and in the programs. So I am the coordinator for Lang 1. Feel free to email me. Kiara Long is in Forestry Student Services and Christine Clary is the director of LFS Student Services. Here is my email, Kiara's email, and as Bonita mentioned, the LFS advising email. And also we have a website. I do encourage you, if you're interested in the program, to definitely visit our website so you can learn a little bit more about the program, and also feel free to email us if you have any questions, doubts about the program, admissions, the application process, or anything. Yeah, and I think that's the plan for today. So feel free to let us know now, or you can also email us if you have any questions about, you know, the Lang 1 community, the courses, how to manage the different courses, Lang 1 and non-Lang 1 courses, the application, or even university in general.